everyone, and welcome to Bluegrass Planet Radio. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and I am so glad to be here with you. It is Monday yet again, but that's okay because for many of you, I know you're getting really stoked and psyched and ready because this is your last week of work for a little while, and I am no exception. I am looking for Friday and ready for the holidays, and so I hope that you are too. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I just want to welcome everyone to our program this evening, and if you're brand new to our program, welcome aboard. Welcome to Bluegrass Planet. We're glad to have you here. We have got an incredible show for you tonight because our guest is no stranger to Bluegrass. He has been affiliated with Bluegrass in one form or fashion for quite some time, and he is also the founder and lead singer for the band Lou Reid and Carolina, and which began in 1992. But he has had a stellar career in bluegrass music, and he is, without a doubt, arguably the most recognizable voice in bluegrass music. And he began his career with his first professional job as bassist for Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver, and after 3 albums with Quicksilver, he took a very prominent position with the Ricky Skaggs Band, playing many different instruments and providing backup vocals. And he also did a stint with the Seldom Scene and worked with John Duffey and has done so many tremendous things. He's also worked with some of the top artists in Nashville like Gill and Vern Gosdin. And he also began a band with Terry Baucom and called it Terry Baucom and Carolina. And so it is, oh my gosh, he has just done so many things in the world of bluegrass music, and we're actually going to be speaking with him momentarily. But they have recently, the band Lou Reid and Carolina has recently celebrated 20 years as a band, and they have a brand new Christmas single out, which we are going to be playing a little bit later in the show. But without further ado, I am very pleased and proud to welcome to our program this evening Mr. Lou Reid. Hello, Lou.
Hi, Dawn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing real good.
You're chuckling. Were you hearing that intro on you?
Yeah, I heard a little of it. Yeah, but then I didn't know when it said I was unmuted or whatever, so I really wasn't sure when to speak.
Oh, that's okay. I had you muted because I wasn't sure when you were going to pop in. So anyway, but thank you and welcome to our program. I'm so happy that you were able to be here this evening with us.
Oh, me too. Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I mean, I have been a fan of Lou Reid and Carolina for, forever it seems. And you guys, I have to congratulate you, first of all, on 20 years as a band and all the success that you've had. I mean, not just you personally, but the band has done so many wonderful things. You've created some great music. You're one of the great staples of the state of North Carolina, bluegrass related. And so, it makes me proud to be a North Carolinian to know that we have, a band like yours that's representing our state in such a way.
Well, 20 years ago, actually, we just passed 21 years now.
Oh, wow.
It was last December. On December 7th marked for this year be 21 years.
Oh, wow.
That's when we said we were a band as myself. I was actually going to be, started a band called the Lou Reid Band at first. That didn't work out because I went to fill in with Third Time Out. This is back in 1992. And so I worked with them for the summer, and then I was going to put my own band together. And Terry Baucom, we've been friends for a long time because we worked in the original Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. And, of course, Terry also performed, like in the band called Boone Creek just prior to that. And we've been friends for a long time, and so that's, he wanted to actually, when I filled in with Third Time Out for the summer of 92, he wanted to go with me and join up, and be partners with me. And so, he was with Third Time Out, and I never did really join him full time. But we started, like I say, we started the band, and we was trying to figure it was both from North Carolina, and since Carolina used to be just the Carolinas, and so we just called it Carolina. For lack of a better name, it's just our music in this area is very distinct, I think. You know, it's really hard driving music. I mean, it can be soft and pretty too, but it's, you know, it's kind of has a hard drive to it, and almost any musician from this area, they seem to have that drive for some reason.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's why we called it Lou Reid, Terry Baucom and Carolina. That's, you know, we started in 1992, December 7th.
Well, congratulations on 21 years. I mean, that is still no small feat when you think about the music industry as a whole. But one of the things, Lou, that I love about bluegrass music, I saw my first bluegrass festival ever probably 8 or 9 years ago, and kind of grew up around it. But I tell you, I had been to concerts my whole life, but there was nothing in the world like the Bluegrass Festival. And I live in Alamance County, so I went to the one that was formerly known as Bass Mountain,
right.
And it's Little John's Mountain Music Festival now. But it's
right.
I'm telling you, it was just, I was blown away by the talent, and you know, it's just unsurpassed. It's unlike any other kind of music out there, and you haven't been around this scene for so long, and the experience that you've gained from being in it. What do you think is the magic to bluegrass? Why do you think it is so appealing to so many people, both old and young alike?
It's real. You know, it's real. It's acoustic, basically acoustic, and it's real. And I think most people sing from the heart. I'm not saying country singers don't, but I don't know. I think they're systematically, you know, so commercial in the country world or rock world or whatever. And plus now country is done. It's almost what country rock. Well, country is what country rock used to be, in my opinion. And so almost we have country people now, country singers and musicians coming to, you know, the bluegrass genre for that. I believe it's just really, to me, you know, it was real. I spent 4 years with Ricky Skaggs playing country music all over the world. And I tell you, that was fun because we did some bluegrass in the show. And, of course, you know, I was a long-time fan of Ricky and had been friends with him for a long time. But bluegrass, and Ricky, I'm sure, will tell you the same thing. You know, it's real. I just think it's just so real because it's acoustic. You know, most of the instruments are made from wood, you know, and they just vibrate with strings on them. And people that play them, you know, people love it. It's a personal thing. And I believe that's why in festivals you see so many jam sessions and so many, you know, bands that are there just to jam and perform. And, you know, you said yourself, you know, when you went to see at Bass Mountain, when you used to, 8 years ago, and you went there to the festival, didn't the live sense of the live music do something to you? Didn't it really kind of make you, you know, it's different than listening to a record or a CD. It really draws you in because of the performance and just the live feel of that music. I just think it's just, man, it's just from the heart. You know, that's what I think. It's real. That's my words. It's just real.
Then that's so well put. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. The thing that did draw me in because, for one thing, you know, you don't get much more real than, you know, a group of musicians up on stage playing acoustically and immensely talented, and there's no soundboard or all this tweaking, you know, like you see in concerts or other genres of music. I mean, pretty much what they play in the studio, what you guys do in the studio, is what you're going to see up on stage. I mean, you can't fake it, and it is real, and it is so. It was unlike anything I had ever seen. I'd always been familiar with bluegrass and liked bluegrass. I grew up around it. My dad's a fan, you know, it kind of is a generational thing in my family, but I had never seen it live. But from that point on, I was a diehard fan. I've been hooked ever since because it's just so hard to look at other genres and go, oh, that's good. It's good in a different way.
It is.
You know, but no other music is real out there like bluegrass is.
Well, the harmonies, too. You know, people in Nashville, I'll just use them as an example because I've been to Nashville, lived in Nashville, so I can kind of relate to it. You know, in that genre, you know, they take the lead singer or whoever the lead, if it's not a band now, but if it's a lead singer that's an artist, you know, they work, they sing behind the artist, and then when they put it on record and they mix it so low you can't hardly really tell who it is. It wouldn't matter who the backup singers are because it's really not up in the mix very much. Mm-hmm. But when you actually get to bluegrass, my mixing and the way I like to hear it is I want to hear the tenor singer. I want to hear the baritone singer. And if we're doing a quartet, I want to hear the bass singer. And I want to hear them almost fairly equal. Maybe the lead just a hint in front, just a little bit. But I really, that's why I call it real. And I think that really sets it aside from from like other genres of music. And I think if you really think about that, you almost have to agree.
Oh, I do. And the thing about bluegrass, too, is that it's just, I don't know, it is the only form of music, in my opinion, that really does stay true to what music is really supposed to be about.
Right.
It doesn't vary off. It doesn't try to reinvent itself. I mean, it is, you've got your contemporary bluegrass. You got different delineations of bluegrass today, but it's still bluegrass at the end of the day. There's still, in every bluegrass song you hear, there's tradition.
Yeah, mine is a little bit, a little contemporary, a little modern, but I still try to keep the roots of the tradition within the structure, and I try to do that as much as I can. Sometimes songs, will make that sound a little bit different and how you play it, but I try to keep that. I mean, I was born in bluegrass too, so I really like bluegrass, and I love traditional bluegrass music because that's what I cut my teeth on.
Yeah. Well, for 21 years, Lou Reid and Carolina, Terry Baucom, the whole shoot match. I mean, you have had so much success, and talk a little bit about some of the highlights of the past 20 years with the band.
Well, we had, back when we first started, I'm trying to think now if we started in 92, and I believe it was 94. We won the first Emerging Artist Award when Terry and I were together. We had songs that actually hit, that actually came out in like Bluegrass Now, that came out and entered at number one. We were really, it was kind of fresh. It reminded me of the days I was with Doyle Lawson. I really wasn't thinking about money. We were just enjoying the music and having fun. That to me is, I've never looked at it as a sense of like, if we do this, we'll make money. I just hope I can pay my bills. That's kind of how I've always been. But that's, the highlights from then. And then in 1996, we had, 2006, we had Time. And song Time was number one for 3 months. And I had Vince Gill and Ricky Skaggs, which I've worked for both of those guys, and been friends with them for a long time. And that went to number one for 3 months. And that was, to me, because we hadn't had songs, get up there, but we didn't. The impact of Time seemed to be different. To stay on the chart for 3 months for me really let me know that people really liked the song because they kept wanting to hear it, and that really tickled me a lot. And we got to do the Grand Ole Opry. We played the Grand Ole Opry at that same time frame, and that was really nice. Ricky sang harmony with me. Vince Gill was in California, I think, recording or something at the time, so he couldn't do it. But or they would have both, I think, performed it with us. But that was really, I think, that the whole band really enjoyed that. I was even nervous. I've been on the Grand Ole Opry so many times with Ricky that when I walked out there, I was never nervous or anything. But when you walk out there and you're kind of in the front, and Ricky's looking over at me, I go, oh, me. It's a little different now, So that was a big highlight, for me. And and the whole band we just took that whole weekend and just made a big weekend of it. But we've had I think now maybe 9 records. I mean I might be wrong. Maybe you can correct me. But I think it's about 9 records over the span of 20 years, which is not too bad. That's almost one every 2 years. So,
oh, yeah. That's, I think that's a wonderful accomplishment, and coupled with all the touring and all the dates you played and all the places you played, I mean, that is very astounding in itself.
Well,
and
we used to work quite a bit, but I was working full time at it, and then I got when John Duffey, the mandolin player, the original mandolin player and tenor singer for the Seldom Scene, passed away. I got a call to, about maybe rejoining the band, and at that time, Carolina had kind of had a lot of changes, and we're just kind of going through that time frame of where band members coming and going. It seemed like, and it was the perfect timing for me to say, I wanted to join the Seldom Scene again, because being such a familiar face would be welcomed, he thought, in the bluegrass field, with the Seldom Scene and the fans. And so I rejoined them in 1997, June of 1997, and I've been there ever since. So the workload of Carolina now is kind of like the way it's kind of structured is, my wife and we own a daycare in Statesville, North Carolina, and she runs it, like full-time during the week. And then Trevor Watson, the banjo player, he lives in Austinville, Virginia, and he's an engineer and works for, they've changed the name, I can't remember now what the name of the company is, but in Radford, Virginia, he works there, 5 days a week. And so they don't really want to tour, like all the time. So we just kind of select and kind of accept dates when we can. And, we accept the good dates, and it's kind of a nice balance. Of course, we have Skip Cherry Holmes in the band now from the Cherry Holmes family, and he's really brought a lot of new excitement to the band, just his energy and youth and everything. I mean, he's like 23. Come on, give me a break. I can't remember 23.
I think, and that's a feat in itself to have any one of the Cherry Holmes kids all grown up, so to speak, in your band.
I'm blown away by it.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, Cherry Holmes, there's not enough you can say about him and their talent. It's just unbelievable. And, I learned recently he's living in Raleigh now. I mean, he's like in North Carolina. So I think that's...
Wave Arena, that's where he lives. Just I think it's east of Raleigh. I think he's maybe 25 minutes from Raleigh. And, he married Stephanie Dilling, Steve Dilling's daughter, and that's how he ended up when Cherry Holmes, split up and went different ways. They got married, and he's working a job. I think he works at a mall, and so he's happy, working with Carolina right now. We're working on a new record and studio record, and so we're really excited about that. I think we have some really great material, and we're almost half done with it. So, but we're working progress.
Do you have kind of a projected date or time frame of when you think this record will be ready to be released to the public?
Well, I'm hoping around mid-March if we can get in the studio. The problem is a lot of times is trying to get in the studio where we record at Eastwood Studios in Cana, Virginia. Wes Easter's I've been doing records with him now for a few years, and it's close to home, and he's really good, and he's in touch with bluegrass and acoustic music, and really gets great tones and everything. He's got a good ear and great equipment too. And but he's so busy all the time. It's like I got to find time when I'm not on the road, and other guys don't have something going on that we can actually. We have to book like a month or 2 months in advance, sometimes even farther out than that. I might be forced to have to, go into another studio to maybe, finish some of it just because of the inability to get in the studio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, and there are probably fans out there that are probably pondering if the new record comes out, is there going to be a mini tour, or will there be anything like that? I know you guys have kind of, you have the ability now to pick and choose, and you have arrived, Lou. Let's just put it that way. But would you do some touring to kind of promote the album?
Well, we will do that, but we've never really looked at. We may think about maybe putting some more dates on the books, to where we, when it's out, that we could sort of promote that record. But, for most bluegrass, for us, we're like weekend warriors, I go out with the scene on weekends, and we kind of do that, with Carolina, too. And when we go out on the road, it's like we're really excited. I mean, it's like my wife thinks it's vacation. It's like we go out on vacation because we have a day or two, where we just have total fun, enjoyment, because you're not on the road all the time. You really look forward to it. And I totally get that because, I've been on the road in the past with bands, with like Ricky Skaggs Band. We were on the road 287. The most we were on the road was 287 days. I was gone from home. And out of 4 years, I was home 1 year.
Wow.
I counted them up. I was home 1 year out of 4. So I know what that's like, and I really don't like being gone that much. That's, And
yeah, well, it really does truly sound like, that the band has found that great balance that I'm sure that so many bands would love to aspire to, to be able to be on the road when you want to be and not be too bogged down with booking dates, to the point that, yes, when you go out on the road, it's fun and it's exciting because you're not doing back to back to back,
Exactly. We do recording to give our fans, something to listen to new, and we get excited about that too. And and then we go out to festivals here and there. Maybe last year we maybe worked 20 dates or something like that, and we don't do much more than 20, 25 dates a year. That's kind of been normal for the last, probably the last 8 or 10 years. And but I mean, that's okay with us. We're not, and usually they're pretty good shows that we do, and they're nice festivals of the Birchmere, where I work with the scene quite a bit, and we just really enjoy the balance. They have the band members have families. I mean, Skip and Stephanie don't have a child yet, but he's kind of working with another band called Sideline, kind of like I'm doing with the Seldom Scene, but. Trevor, the banjo player, he's got 2 kids, and of course, Chrissy and I have 2 kids. So, right now they're into high school and middle school basketball and volleyball and travel ball in the summer. So it's getting a little harder right now to travel just because of that also.
Well, and being a mom of kids myself, and my youngest is in high school, I know all too well what you're talking about. It's that kind of take over your life when they're in high school, as it is. Even if you don't have, projects on the outside, a family life like you guys have, it can be very, very hectic. So it sounds like you and your wife have done a phenomenal job of just finding that balance, and it's working very well, from all sides.
We have tried to make that happen, but, when you have, and we tried to tour a little bit more, but then the kids, they go to saying, Mama, you're going to miss my game, and, and it's like, and they put the guilt trip on you. And I'm sure you've probably been there.
I have been there. Yes, I have a time or two. Yes, I know that. The great thing is, I mean, you don't have to miss that game, because that, you guys, you've been around for 21 years and you played a lot of places, and you will continue to do that. But there's only that one time with that one particular ball game that you can go see your child play, and once it's done, you don't get it again.
No, you can't recall it. It's
can't. So
well, it's over. It's a time in their life that's important to them, and they're making great achievements too, and it's hard not to be a part of it.
Well, now, are your children, either one, are they interested in music or being involved in music down the road?
Well, it's kind of weird. Mackenzie, we call her Mackie. She's 13. She's turned 13. She's 5'10", and
wow.
she they call her Big Mac, and she took piano lessons last year, and she did quite well with it. They love music now. But, Reagan plays the guitar, some can play chords on it and everything, and she can play a few notes on the bass. And they do like some bluegrass. They're just like any of the young kids, they like what, their peers like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, whether it's rap or any of this new music they're listening to that I don't really listen. I get to listen to it. I don't want to, but I get to listen to it. in the car because I don't have much of a choice.
I know what you're saying.
They outrule me.
That's
they
right.
overrule me.
My 15-year-old does the same thing, and she also has her learner's permit. So when if she's driving, she will set the radio on whenever she wants before we pull out of the drive. And so yeah, it's not necessarily my choice, but but if she's in the car, it's what I have to deal with. So I understand that all too well. But they're only going to be teenagers once, and then one day they'll be our age and they'll appreciate bluegrass music, right?
Oh, I think they will. Yeah, I mean, I remember Christy telling me when she was in college that she said they all thought she was a freak because she had this guitar, acoustic guitar, and she listened to bluegrass music. It's like she was like one of a kind out of all of her people that she knew, the girls that she knew, and kind of called friends in college.
Sure.
But they just, you're a freak, because you like this crazy music or something.
Well, she's in a very, very successful bluegrass band that's very well known these days. I bet her college friends are not thinking that now, So
probably
sure.
Not now. You're right.
Is there anything else that coming up in 2014? Besides the new album that you would want to share with the listeners?
I mean, I don't have anything like, any big event that I know of that's happening. We're just, we're putting festivals on the dates, and we have some people now, that the people are calling us, and then, it's kind of like you give them a price, and we just wait to see, if their budget allows it and all this kind of stuff. So we're just waiting on that, to sort of balance the calendar, a little bit later. But, we don't have anything. It's nothing like crazy yet. Now this new record could change things,
Sure.
It's always like a new recording can change whatever the direction is as far as what you'll be doing,
Yeah.
And last time we went to Nashville and we did some promotion, and we may do that on this next one. But right now I don't even know. I told you mid-March, but please don't hold it to me. Don't hold me to that because I don't know if I can really stick to that. I'm going to try,
Yeah.
the best I can. I like the first part of the year getting something out, and then people have the whole rest of that year to hear something.
Oh, sure. I think that's a great plan as well. And, Lou, I know that you guys are going to continue to be successful no matter how hard you hit it or how light you go with it. You guys are well loved and known throughout the state of North Carolina as well as nationwide. And I just want to say congratulations on all your success. Not only you personally, but the band. And it's just, I love talking to you. You just have, so much experience, and you've done so many things in this genre, and you've brought so much to it as well. And so as a listener and a fan, thank you. We appreciate your contribution.
I certainly appreciate that, Dawn, very much. I don't know how much, I don't really look at it as I am getting older, buddy, that's for sure. But, I don't really look at it as contributions. Every time I go out there, I really enjoy playing. I love doing what I do and the music that I play. I really enjoy it. And the fans, they're just absolutely terrific. By the way, if you don't mind, you did ask me if we had anything coming up. We will be taping a TV. It's like for the Raleigh Cable Network. We're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. It's on our Facebook. If people want to go to that. I just put that up, or my wife did the other day. It's at, I'm trying to bring it up now, if I can, on my Facebook. It's taped. I've never done this before. It's only their second taping. And they're trying to expand the market, too. But they asked us if we would do it. And since we haven't been over to Skip's house, we're going to kind of make it a visit Skip weekend, and it's going to be January 18th, Saturday, January 18th. And they can go to our Facebook, LouReidandCarolina.com, or check out, my Facebook, Lou Reid, and it'll be posted on there.
Okay. All right. Well, wonderful. And we'll help promote that as well. So it sounds like you've got a great year ahead. And again, congratulations on all your major success as a band and also you yourself. And thank you so much for taking some time to be with us this evening and talking with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, I enjoyed it very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. And Merry Christmas to you and your family and everyone in the band. Please give them our best.
I sure will, Dawn. Merry Christmas to you.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. Thanks.
Bye-bye. He is one of the nicest people in bluegrass you will ever meet, ladies and gentlemen, and Lou Reid. And just a real treat to speak with him. And anytime I have ever seen them perform live, it has always been a treat. And if you've never seen them perform live, boy, what are you waiting for? You've got to make a point to do that. In fact, you can go to their website, LouReidandCarolina.com, and there is a list of upcoming shows. They are already booked for next year. Quite a few dates on the calendar for next year, in fact. And so everything's linked to where they're going to be. Their first 2014 date will be, it looks like, I'm looking at their schedule right now, it's going to be February 14th, Valentine's Day. They'll be playing the First Class Bluegrass Festival in Asheville, North Carolina. So if you are in that neck of the woods for around that time, please go check them out. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. They are an awesome, awesome band. You can also find them on Facebook at Lou Reid and Carolina and keep up with them there. So, again, we want to say a huge thank you to Lou for being our special guest this evening. And before we close, I want to play a couple songs that recently received from Lou. One of them is from their 20th anniversary concert entitled Mountain Girl. It's a great song. And also, they have released a Christmas single for this year, just in time for the holidays, and it is a great song. And if you love Christmas music as much as I do, you will love the song. It's entitled Christmas in the Blue Ridge. So we will close our show with that tonight. So again, a huge thank you to Lou Reid for being our special guest, and many, many thanks to all of you as well for being with us this evening. And if you're first time here, welcome to Bluegrass Planet Radio family. We are so glad to have you, and we hope that it won't be your last time. So we welcome you back anytime. So with that, I will tell everyone to have a great evening and a wonderful day tomorrow and a week ahead, and we look forward to being back with you here again very soon. Take care all. For Bluegrass Planet Radio, I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn. Take care. Good night.
This is called The Heart of the Little Mountain. She lived on the trail to find by the river and through the pine. The memory will never fade away. All the treasures in this world, diamonds, rubies, gold, and pearls, none are like my little mountain girl. They say I'm back slowly, way up in the mountains. Brother, I can tell you that it's true, true blue. Like the heart of a little mountain girl. Can't forget the days gone by, running, laughing, sometimes crying, hoping that a dream would never end. Time will let me walk right back through the pine trees, through the shack. How I'd love to see that girl again. They say I'm back slowly, way up in the mountains. Brother, I can tell you that it's true, true blue, like the heart of a little mountain girl. Now even in our moldy grave, life only passed away, and I can see my race is almost run. And if they ask my last request, I'll pray some boy's heart to break. God made there always be mountain girls. They sing, I'm back slowly, way up in the mountains. Brother, I can tell you that it's true, true blue. Like the heart of a little mountain girl. Like the heart of a little mountain girl. Like the heart of a little mountain girl. Good songs always hang in there, don't they? Christmas bells are ringing from a little country church. The choir is singing carols of our Lord and Savior's birth. The moonlight on the snowfall guides a sleigh ride through the night on a Blue Ridge Christmas Eve tonight. Christmas in the Blue Ridge always takes me home, to the meadows and the mountains I grew up playing on. It paints a perfect picture in a wonderland of white. It's Christmas in the Blue Ridge tonight. I miss that old time Christmas in a quiet country town, stringing like some popcorn on a tree that we cut down. We'd go to sleep and dream about old Santa and his sleigh, and wake up to the Blue Ridge Christmas Day. Christmas in the Blue Ridge always takes me home, to the meadows and the mountains I grew up playing on. It paints a perfect picture in a wonderland of white. It's Christmas in the Blue Ridge tonight. Takes me home, to the meadows and the mountains I grew up playing on. It paints a perfect picture in a wonderland of white. It's Christmas in the Blue Ridge tonight. It paints a perfect picture in a wonderland of white. It's Christmas in the Blue Ridge tonight.
You've been listening to Bluegrass Planet Radio. Find us on the web at bluegrassplanetradio.com, on Twitter at Bluegrass Planet, and on Facebook at Bluegrass Planet Radio. Thank you for joining us.